Mark and May channel. Thanks for tuning back in. Today we're going to go over just a really quick tutorial on how to build your own turntable or Lazy Susan. I'll be going over the step-by-step process with you and the supplies and tools you'll need along the way. You may be wondering, Jess, why wouldn't you just remove the shelves? Well, I'll tell you why. I can't remove these stupid shelves. They're extremely difficult to get out. You have to push 2 in or 4 in at the same time to be able to remove it. Plus, if I did remove the shelf, I honestly don't think I could get it back into its place. So therefore, I just decided to come up with my own turntable. 1, it makes an interesting YouTube video, and 2, because I can't remove those stupid shelves and I still wanted a turntable. So that gives you a good idea why I had to make my own versus purchasing one. To start, you'll need a laundry list of items, but it's not too bad. Most homeowners have these types of tools and things laying around. So to start, you will need a carpenter's pencil, a power drill, electric saw, safety glasses, because safety first, a smaller screwdriver or a handheld electric screwdriver, a round board, or basically a wood shaped in a circle. The one I purchased was under $7 at Home Depot and had a diameter of 18 inches. Lazy Susan hardware, I also purchased this from Home Depot under $6 and it was a size of like 6 inches. The correct screws for the Lazy Susan or the turntable hardware, my package didn't come with the screws, which was irritating, and I don't think that they actually had the right screw selection on the back. So they said to get number 6 screws for the entire project. And what I found out, the base screws were a number 6, and then the top screws for the wood panel was actually supposed to be a number 8. And then you can see what I did was use 2 1x1 wood pieces. You could also use a wood plank with 1 inch thickness. You'll need 2 metal brackets. I purchased a 6-inch metal bracket. And the last couple of items you'll need to complete the project are a measuring tape and spray paint or a clear coat to finish the wood top. This DIY project is fairly easy and quick to do. It shouldn't be too time consuming or difficult or challenging for you, especially if this is your first project. Step 1, take accurate measurements of the space you are fitting the turntable in to determine the size you need and the size you need to cut it down to. Step 2, measure half of the circle and draw a cutting line directly down the center. You want to make sure that it is directly down the center as even as possible, otherwise it could interfere with how your turntable fits and turns. Step 3, cut your board in half and make sure to wear safety goggles. Like I said, safety first. And I clearly am not using appropriate safety goggles. I'm using my blue light blocking glasses, but close enough. You can see I built a contraption to stabilize the board because I don't have a sawhorse. Cutting something that is round can be tricky, so make sure it will not move forward or back when cutting it, that it will not roll and it will not slide around. I have little baby hands, so it's hard for me to stabilize the wood with my hand while cutting it, which many people can do somehow. I don't get that, but whatever. So I was blessed with baby hands. So instead, I opted to weigh it down with bricks and other heavy objects to stabilize it to ensure it doesn't move on me, so just be careful. Step 4. Next, I marked where I wanted the Lazy Susan hardware to go on the round board. I made sure it was even measurements on all sides because otherwise it would end up not being centered, so it could not turn evenly, but also it potentially could not fit or tip over. Take accurate measurements to make sure that it's centered. Step 5, I pre-drilled the 2 wooden pieces for the base, as you can see in the video. Step 6, I screwed in the hardware to the 2 wood pieces. Step 7, finish the round board however you prefer. You can see I spray painted mine white with a few coats, but you can use clear coat to keep the natural wood look. You could stain it. You could do some wood burning, whatever you want really. You can see I changed mine later. I initially wanted it natural wood, but decided to make it blend more with the upper cabinets, and I sprayed painted it after I already attached the hardware and then just covered it up with a plastic bag. So you can always make changes later in case you don't like what you did. Unless you do wood burning or wood carving, that's pretty permanent. Step 8, once the top was finished and dried, I fully screwed in one of the sides of the round board with number 8 screws and the other side partially to make sure it was even and worked well. Once I saw that it was fine, I removed the partially screwed in half. So this step is different than most tutorials on how to build turntables. Most turntables, you drill a giant hole in the base to be able to screw the entire top together versus cutting it in half. You can look them up to see what I'm talking about. But however, to fit my turntable into the cabinet, I needed to cut the board in half, which leads up to step 9. So step 9, fit the half configured Lazy Susan into the cabinet or the space you're putting it in, then secure or, screw in the non-attached half of the Lazy Susan. So you can see it's actually like splitting down the middle, or it sometimes will be twisting like this. So that's where the brackets come in because it'll really secure the entire piece together. Step number 10, figure out where you want the brackets, mark them with a pencil, then pre-drill them. You can and maybe should do this step earlier in the process, but I wanted to install it first to see what brackets I wanted later. Because my first thought was actually gold brackets on top because it would look a little bit more stylish, but one, I couldn't really reach in to screw it in, especially in the middle of the base. So fortunately, I did not pre-drill it, otherwise I would have had holes on the top of my turntable. But if you do like that look and you're using on a countertop, like go for it, that'd look really fetch. Yes, fetch is a thing. Step number 11, screw in the brackets and make sure the piece is stable. The last and most important step, step number 12, admire your finished work because you did a really good job. I did many other weird things recording this, and the high five to the camera was by far the most normal. And this concludes the tutorial video on how to DIY your turntable and or Lazy Susan, depending on what you want to call it. If you found this helpful and you really like this, please give it a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe to the Mark and May channel. And if you do have any questions about this tutorial or comments, please comment below and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Otherwise, thank you and I hope you have a great day. Bye.